Hello everyone, my name is Mayank and I have secured All India rank 16 in UPSC CAPF 2018 examination. And today I am making this video for all of you who have cleared their PET and the medical stages of the examination and are now preparing for the last leg of the exam, that is the interview or the personality test stage. And this is a very important stage as it can decide whether you get a rank or you do not get a rank in the CAPF exam. So it's better that you put in the same level of efforts, show the same levels of enthusiasm and diligence that you had shown while preparing for the written stage. So today in this video, I'll be sharing with you guys my interview strategy as well as my interview experience. So before coming to the main content, a little bit about myself. I have done my graduation from National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management in the discipline Food Technology and Management. So I graduated in the year 2017, and just right after my graduation I gave the first attempt of CAPF in which I wasn't able to clear even the written stage. So it was in 2018, which was my second attempt, that I was able to get this rank. And my interview score is 102 out of 150. So let's begin. Um, as far as the interview strategy is concerned, the two most important things are: first is your DAF, that is your detailed application form, and second one is the newspaper reading aspect. So we'll come to both of these one by one. So first is your DAF. DAF is a very important thing as 60 to 70% of the questions will emerge directly or indirectly out of it. By direct questions, I mean questions related to your hobbies, questions related to your graduation discipline, your college name, etc. can be asked. For example, as soon as I entered the interview hall, the chairperson asked me to sing a song and then explain its meaning because my hobby was singing. And after that, I was asked questions on Indian classical music, on the different types of ragas, etc. And also, I was asked questions on running because my hobby was also running. So, these are the examples of some direct questions which can be asked by the panel from you. And second is the indirect questions. And again, to give you an example, as I already told you that my college name is National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management. So that entrepreneurship word was picked by the panel, and they framed a question as to what are the different government schemes in the area of entrepreneurship development, and secondly, where should the government's focus lie on, that is on entrepreneurship industry or on the heavy industry. So they asked my opinion on that. So as you can see, these weren't some random questions thrown at me, but uh, the basis for these questions emerged from the DAF itself. So this is the importance of DAF. Now I'll tell you my strategy as to how I prepared for the DAF. So first of all, you have to maintain a separate notebook for interview, for your interview, and just 4 or 5 days before your interview happens, you just revise all the contents of that. Yeah, so DAF. Now everything that you have written in your DAF, starting from your your name, your surname, your father's name, mother's name, father's organization, mother's organization, your graduation discipline, college name, hobbies, etc., everything should be researched about. For example, the meaning of my name is Moon, so I googled it and wrote down everything related to lunar missions and Chandrayaan, dimensions of the moon, its distance from the earth, etc. And similarly, Rohini, which is a place in Delhi, it was mentioned in my DAF. So when I googled it, it came up with four and five different meanings of the word Rohini. Rohini also meant Buddha's disciple. It also meant one of the Krishna's wives, a series of sounding rockets, one of the 28 nakshatras, a satellite. So I wrote down each and every possible meaning of the word Rohini in my notebook. So likewise, I did the same for each and every word that was mentioned in my DAF. So you can also follow this strategy. Now, next very important thing is your hometown. Now, hometown, you should be able to know all the important issues that have taken place in the past 2 3 years in your hometown, or there is an important pilgrimage center in your hometown, or any other important site in your hometown. To give you an example, my hometown is located in western Uttar Pradesh. So I prepared issues like, the rift between sugarcane farmers and the mill owners. Secondly, I prepared about khap panchayats and cattle slaughter, so etc. So you should be able to know about the uh, important issues that have been taking place in your hometown region, and it's better to talk to your relatives. If you're not living presently in your home region, discuss with them about these things. Now next is your the force preference. Another very important thing, you should be able to clearly justify why you have picked this particular force preference. For example, if you have chosen ITBP as your first preference, why is it that you have chosen ITBP as your first preference? So this should be clearly known to you. And along with this, the mandate of each and every CAPF should be known to you. Uh, in fact, the mandate of each and every armed force of the Union should be known to you. The duties, the roles, and the responsibilities assigned to them. And you can, read about this from the book called Challenges to Internal Security by Ashok Kumar. That is a very good book, and you can also prepare some security related issues from that book also. Now, next is your hobbies section. As I already told you that it is a very important section, as 4 to 5 questions were asked by the panel from me based on this section. So prepare it thoroughly. Next is your situation based questions. So 2 or 3 situation based questions can be asked from you, and the best strategy to prepare this section is to come up with your own situations, analyze them, brainstorm, and then find the answers to that particular situation. And then afterwards you can discuss it with your family and your friends and gain their feedback. So for example, analyze a situation that if you're posted in any particular area and a situation of stampede occurs there, so what will be your response? So this is a situation, and now you can come up with more and more ideas, and then you can discuss it. So I think this is the best way to prepare these situation based questions. And you can also read the transcripts which are given on the Brunel website. So there also, some you can find some situation based questions. So you can do that also. Now next, the second thing is your newspaper reading habit. You should read newspaper every day, and I mean, every day means that you should not skip the newspaper even on your D day, that is your interview day. It is very important to read newspaper on your interview day, when you'll be sitting in that UPSC hall, and when the document verification process will be underway. 4 or 5 newspapers are kept on the table, so you should read newspapers there and then. And because the panel can ask you what are the news, national or global news of that day. So you have to be prepared. And I remember a question about Chennai water scarcity was asked by the panel from me, and that was a news that was just 2 or 3 days old. So this is the thing, that you should be prepared about everything, about each and every news. So you should not skip it even for one day. And yeah, along with newspaper reading, you can also watch Rajya Sabha TV videos. You can watch the big picture, and you can write down the important issues in your notebook, form opinion on them. So this is the newspaper reading aspect. Another thing is, for the things that you do not know about, don't beat around the bush. Just say a humble no, and that will be absolutely fine. I said no to around 5 to 6 questions, and that is absolutely fine. Um, yeah, another very important thing is your graduation discipline. You should be able to relate your graduation discipline with the armed forces and how your knowledge about your graduation discipline is going to benefit the forces. So, to give you an example, my graduation discipline is food technology. So, I was asked by the panel about its relevance to the CAPFs, and I quoted Napoleon Bonaparte by saying that an army marches on its stomach. And afterwards, I gave examples of DFRL and foods with higher shelf life, low moisture content, and foods with higher energy, and how they are required by the troops who are operating in extreme climates and in jungles. So, this is the thing by which you can relate uh, your graduation discipline with the armed forces. So, you should prepare that in this aspect by relating it with the armed forces, and this is very important. Um, and another thing is your confidence during the interview day, a very important thing. You are going to be an assistant commandant who will be a company commander in charge of around 140 men who will perform everything you say, and they'll perform under your command directly. So you should have that leadership ability. You should show that confidence and leadership ability right on the day of the interview itself. So you should be confident enough, just steady your nerves and give your 100%. Just be calm and composed and give your 100% on the interview day. So, yeah, as far as the strategy and my experience related to interviews concerned, I think that is it. And I hope you all perform very well in your interview. So, thank you and Jai Hind.